I'm Meredith Watkins, and I'm an author coach, and I'm going to answer some questions that I have from first-time authors. One of which is, should I self-publish or should I go with traditional publishing? And here's the key differences between the two. With self-publishing, you have a lot more control over the whole process. You have total ownership over your book. You own your own ISBN number, and you can do pretty much whatever you want. Another bonus of self-publishing is that you can get it up and ready to sell as soon as you want. So you have basically a lot of control is what self-publishing gives you. And when I talk to new authors, people who are looking to write and publish their first book, I ask, what's more important to you? Is it to have your book in people's hands as quickly as possible? If so, self-publishing is probably the right path for you. Now, self-publishing involves basically writing your book. You may hire somebody, a freelance editor, just to proof it and make sure it's all free of errors. And then you may hire a graphic designer to design your book cover. Then you can go on a site like Amazon's KDP, which is their self-publishing site, and walk through the instructions. They make it very user-friendly. Basically, you format your book in the size that you want, you upload it, and answer some questions, and it goes live on Amazon. People can start buying your book as soon as you do that. So if you're looking for a lot more control over your book, creative control, timing, and just owning the rights and also getting all the royalties for your book, then self-publishing might be the right path for you. With royalties, I will put out the caveat that for print-on-demand services, which is what Amazon's KDP and other companies like Ingram Spark do, which means somebody orders it, they print it, they ship it. For that service, they take a fee. That makes sense. So you're going to get less, obviously, in terms of royalties off of the sale price because they're taking their cut to do all that work for you. It's not a bad price to pay given the convenience and that you don't have to have an inventory on hand and do all the shipping yourself and fulfillment yourself. So those are just the very basics of self-publishing. Traditional publishing, on the other hand, means that you are getting a contract with one of the publishing houses. There's the big five out there that most people are familiar with, but there's a ton of smaller ones as well. And frankly, a lot of first-time authors find a great home in some of the smaller publishing houses, and it works out great. So regardless, one thing you need to know about traditional publishing is that they, by and large, do not accept unsolicited manuscripts. That means you cannot email them, call them, just send them your manuscript. They're not going to read it. That's not how they work because they would be doing nothing other than reading unsolicited manuscripts otherwise. So the process is you get a literary agent and they shop around your book to publishing houses. And publishing houses work with literary agents. That's pretty much the industry standard. So the first thing you need to do if you want to traditionally publish is write a book proposal. I recommend to people who want to go this route to not write the entire book first. The reason for this is when you get a publishing contract, the editorial team will work with you on developing your book, and they often have you change it. And so, frankly, I've had friends who have written entire manuscripts, gotten a publishing contract, and essentially had to rewrite their book, which kind of stinks. So, save yourself the trouble. What you should have is a very solid book proposal, and that includes the overview of your book. It includes an outline, chapter summaries. It includes your target market. It includes your own personal platform in terms of how many followers you have on social media, your ability to help sell the book is what publishing companies are looking for. Because these days, publishing houses are not just, they're about publishing books, but they're about selling books. And they want to know that you are going to be able to be an active participant, partner with them in selling your book. So it's kind of a risk assessment on their part. If they take you on as a client, what are the odds that the money that they invest in you and in their team to help you get your book out and market it are going to come back in terms of sales? So part of that is what you write in your book proposal, in the part about your marketing efforts and what you can do, the people you know who might help promote it, that kind of thing. That is something that you can find a template for online. There are a bunch of them. There are different templates for nonfiction books than there are for fiction books, and they're both accessible online. You can work through it yourself if you like. Part of what will be in your book proposal at the end is 1 or 2 sample chapters. So you can write those chapters. Obviously, you need to for the book proposal, but again, I wouldn't write the entire book. That could be just a lot more work for you in the end that you could save yourself. So you can hire somebody like me to help walk you through the process of writing your book proposal, or actually hiring somebody like me to write the book proposal for you, or you can do it yourself too. Plenty of people do. You'll do that first. You'll go out and you'll find a literary agent. There are many literary agents out there. They specialize in certain genres, certain types of books. So find one, they'll say on their website, who works on the kinds of books that you're writing. Get in contact with them and see if it's a good fit. I often liken that relationship to like a dating relationship or a therapist relationship. You got to find the right fit because they're going to be your partner in getting your book published. They're going to be your cheerleader to the publishing companies while they're pitching it. You want to make sure that they really get you, they get the book, they're excited about the book like you are, and are going to be a good representative for your book out in the world to the publishing companies. The good thing about literary agents is that you don't have to pay them out of pocket. They get a commission off of whatever advance that a publishing company gives you when you get your contract. So it's in their best interest, obviously, to get you the best contract that they can, because that affects their commission as well, which leads us to the advance. A key difference, obviously, between self-publishing and traditional publishing is that when you do get a contract with a publishing company, you get some sort of monetary advance. So that can vary wildly in terms of the actual amount. If you do a quick Google search, it tells you that average advances for first-time authors range between $5,000 and $20,000. It can go up from there, even for first-time authors. I do know that it can, just from clients of mine who have gotten even larger amounts, but it does vary. Regardless, you're getting money as opposed to spending money, so that's a good thing. And again, the literary agent takes a commission off of that advance. Then the same book proposal that you use to get your literary agent, because they're going to want to see who are you, what's this book about, is this a project I want to take on. They're shopping your book around with the book proposal. That's what it's used for, to publishing houses, and then securing you that contract. And they will help negotiate the terms of the contract with the publishing company for you. So that's another key role that a good literary agent plays in that process. And from there, you're working with the publishing house, you're working with their editorial team to develop your actual book, and you're working with their sales and marketing team to market and sell your book. You should know that from typically the timeline from the time that you sign your contract with the publishing company to the time that it's on the books is about 12 to 18 months. That's just the industry standard. So again, if you're fine with that, time is not of the essence for you in terms of getting your book out, that might be a really good option for you. So those are the key points, the differences between self-publishing and traditional publishing. And if you have any other questions, I would be happy to answer them. You can go to meredithwatkins.com and schedule yourself in for a free consultation, and I'd be happy to answer any of your other questions. Hope it was helpful.